Good evening. It's Wednesday. It's been raining on and off all day, again, some more. And I was thinking earlier, it's kind of funny because I quote unquote retired. I went out on my Social Security and I was thinking that I don't really understand that concept. So the universe has actually provided me this perfect time and opportunity to explore what that means. Because I haven't really been going to my jobs that are outside and physical labor. Um, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like working in a thunderstorm. So I've been home. And since I've been home and I'm quote unquote retired, I can do whatever I want, which is basically how I roll anyway. I think I was born that way. Anyway, I've been talking a lot about Qigong and what is energy, and this is my 37th Qigong challenge. God, that's a mouthful for me. I have trouble saying that. And so it's a good question. What's Qigong? And, I've said it's been referred to as the study of our life force, our energy. It's energy work. So I explained a little bit more about energy too, and I want to show you something here. Just a glass of water. Pretend it's the ocean for the sake of this conversation. And inside the ocean are drops, individual drops of water that make up the ocean. So, as I was saying in another discussion about things that I think about, and I do a lot of that, and so, like I said, energy is both matter and waves, just like the ocean is made of a drop. The drop is in the ocean, and the ocean's in the drop. I thought I'd use a little demonstration because I think they're fun. So today has been a day of contemplation, relaxation. I took a bath. My left foot is still swollen. Now keep in mind, it doesn't hurt. My right foot, where my dog punctured it, 55 pounds of her weight, all put through two of her nicely just trimmed toenails. I got really, puncture wounds. They were deep, and it took a long time for them to heal, and they're still healing. But at least the infection is gone. And I really have to ask, is this why now my left foot is swollen? Because I've had to deal with this infection and buildup of toxin in my body. Again, one of my favorite answers is, I don't know. One of my favorite words, maybe. Love that word. It's so full of potential. Anyway, just some more thoughts about energy and Qigong. I'm going to go get something. Be right back. All right. I made a list. I made a list of words that I've heard used when talking about Qigong. Over 50 of them. And I'll post them I'll write them out and post them at some point, but I'm not going to sit here and read them to you right now. But all of those words got me to thinking about another word. It sort of brings all of this together again. Word articulate. And that has a very specific meaning when you're talking about anatomy and bones. It's where one specific bone joins another. So it's a connection. But even though it's a connection, there's a gap. So our world is full of these little paradoxes. We live in a place of duality. We really don't know what up is until we explore what down is. But the thing is, we live in this 360, multi-dimensional space, and it's hard. We can't see it all. We don't have a fair enough vantage point here, and so it's a journey of traveling, and it's also kind of like going further down the rabbit hole. But when we think about our energy and healing and the river, it's about connection. And that's another word that articulate can mean joint. So I find that very interesting, and I find it interesting that it's oftentimes things upriver from us that help us heal whatever symptom that we're dealing with in our life. And this, I'm not just speaking about physical symptoms too. All of this stuff applies to our thoughts. Thoughts create feelings and emotions, and those things affect our actions. So, it's this ripple domino kind of effect, and with. And in that regard, I really can't say there's any such thing as a mistake. There's only more answers, better questions. So as I pursue all of these things that is Qigong in its essence, I'm articulating, putting together, consolidating, and joining, and connecting, and unifying this river of possibility that lives within me, and I have the ability to affect its currents, its direction, its intensity. And these are tools for living a really good life. And I know it's so easy to go, I'm late, I'm gonna hurry, I don't have time to exercise, I don't have time to do anything. The fact of the matter is, I said I wasn't gonna read 50 words. How long do you think, really, it would take to read 50 words? We'd fly by. So throughout our lives, throughout every day in our life, we have these little spaces of time, energy gaps. And so we can use those to our advantage as we become more mindful and think about stepping in the river and playing, not just floating there. We can float on the river and let it carry us where it goes. We can start playing with it, It's sort of like we're cosmic surfers. And I love that image. I love that idea. Although I've always kind of thought about it in my head as being the captain of my own ship. And both images work for me very well, but there's something really cool about surfing the cosmos that I really like. It sounds a whole lot of fun to me, and that is what this is all about. Life is so full of joy and so many wonders that I'm in awe. And they're the simplest things when I just stop and let them be, let them come to me instead of forcing a ripple out. There's something to be said for the stillness of Qigong. And then when we experience that, because it's this ongoing cycle of an energy engine, after we're still, ideas come to us. It's like I took a bath today. I love taking baths. Something about it. I think it came from being a dementia care partner. It was a way that didn't take a whole lot of time that I could have to myself. Be doing something 24/7, diligently, vigilantly, for years on end. I can't begin to tell you how exhausting it is. And it's like I sort of became this Energizer bunny zombie. Just kept going, going, going. So it's amazing where we find reserves of strength and energy. And going through that whole thing, it was probably the hardest thing I've been through in my life, but I learned so much about energy. And now when I make a connection, join it with what I know and learn about Qigong, I have within my hands, within my mind, within my heart, within my actions, the ability to create a wonderful world. Really good ripples. And then they can go out. You know what? Join other like-minded ripples. And we start to make a big wave. Make a difference. This is how we grow from the isolation of being a dementia care partner into being connected with all of everything. And we learn how to be comfortable in the stillness and the quiet and the isolation and being alone. We learn how to utilize our time. We learn how to triage our energy. And I love it. It's an adventure every day. While I'm doing all of this yakking and talking, articulating, I have a really good dinner cooking for myself. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a nice little reward loop. I prepared a good meal, and now I get to go eat it. All right. Peace out.